better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. He gets caught real big, gets off quick, and if you cross it, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. That's the blood and gold. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel the force of hard in. If you start shit, you be hard lived in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject.
It happens in countries like Russia, Iran, and China. The inner circle of the dictator get very rich, while the rest of the country struggles. Now it's happening in America. Donald Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, over $4.5 million. Stephen Miller, that angry little guy his own family attacks, hundreds of thousands. Trump's former golf caddy, Dan Scavino, over $2 million. Sergio Gore, 38-year-old former DJ from Malta, over $1 million. What's Donald Trump done for you? You paying less for eggs? Your taxes gone down? Social Security offices are closing. VA services slashed. Trump's pushing the largest Medicaid cut in history and the biggest tax cut for billionaires. Trump's golden circle gets rich, while the rest of us struggle. It's not fair. Russia, Iran, China, corrupt dictatorships. And now, America. Donald Trump. It's just not working.
Nope. Definitely not working.
Lincoln Project is always better than the Democrats. It's so dumb. I can't believe
I know their messaging is always on point. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Derp State. This is going to be one of these lighter episodes because we have a lot to make fun of today. We're going to talk about how MAGA is at war with Grok. Yes, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence. MAGA is having a fit because Grok, obviously being AI, is programmed to use verified facts and not conspiracy theories. And for some reason, MAGA just can't seem to grasp that. So it's absolutely hilarious. They are now saying that Grok is left-leaning. Yes, the platform that is owned by an actual Nazi and Elon Musk is left-leaning. Give me a freaking break.
These people, Jesus.
Yeah. We're also going to talk about Palantir again and Peter Thiel because they have started collecting and computing or whatever AI does, our information, our social security, all the information that DOGE stole was given to Peter Thiel and Palantir. They have our social media information. They are going to monitor every single thing we do. Thanks to MAGA, the thought police now exists for real. You guys literally elected the deep state. Like it wasn't a real thing before. Maybe it was, but not to this extent. You guys quite literally supercharged it. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about how magically, after all this performative bullshit, that the Epstein files or the Epstein client list just magically disappeared, even though it was on Pam Bondi's desk in February, even though they had right-wing grifters come out with those cute little binders that said Epstein phase 1. Apparently there was no phase 2 because unless phase 2 was just saying, it's gone. I'm like, well, what? MAGA is not happy about it. Some of them are actually, I don't know if they're drawing the line, but they're definitely not having a good time with this one because now they feel like Pam Bondi is part of the deep state. They're not blaming Donald Trump. They are blaming Pam Bondi and Caroline Leavitt for covering it up. Mm-hmm. No blame on the guy who was literally best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years, mind you. No, that guy, yeah, they still don't believe that he's on it. Obviously, he is. Obviously, like, if anybody's on it, Donald Trump is probably on it more than anybody else. Maybe Bill Clinton, too. But Donald Trump is probably on it more than anybody else. So they're going after illegal criminals while protecting actual PDF files because YouTube doesn't like when I use the actual word for what these people are, but actual sexual predators. They're protected. That's what the Republicans are. They are the party of sexual predators.
The GOP stands for greedy old PDFs.
It really does. It really does. So we have a lot of videos we want to go over. The funniest one, I think, was Caroline Levitt trying to explain to the press, right-wing press, and their reaction was, oh, God. Like, even they are not buying it, which is absolutely hilarious. So let's get into it. First, James, let's talk about this whole LA ICE raid. We called it. They now have a supercharged private military force deputizing random people, giving them guns, giving them body armor. These idiots, and you are idiots, ICE, every one of you. And I like to remind you that back after World War II, when they did the Nuremberg trials, the I was just following orders defense didn't work. And I hope to God eventually we can put you in alligator Alcatraz so you can see how it feels to be treated like you treat marginalized communities. I think, again, I've said this repeatedly, that we need to start treating MAGA with the utmost disrespect. How they treat minorities is how we should treat them. Because guess what? They are the minority now. Okay? They are 20 to 25% of the country. Okay, they don't have the numbers, but for some reason they're under this impression that we're just going to roll over and play dead. It's not how it works, cuz we are going to fight for everything we possibly can. But you're out in LA, so like, what has been going on out there? Like, what have you been seeing, James?
I wasn't there today, but I know a lot of the activists that were out there, and it was the most pathetic thing imaginable. They have like horses riding through MacArthur Park. They had a bunch of like Humvees. Fully decked out. And of course, Karen Bass was there for her little fucking publicity stunt. She wanted her photo op. And she's trying to get on her soapbox about, we don't want these folks in here. Look at what Trump is doing. And it's like, bitch, you are the reason that they're able to do it. You are allowing LAPD to collaborate with these other departments.
Exactly.
And now there's this special emergency security event or something that she's enabling because of the Olympics coming out in a few years.
True.
So now it gives just blanket coordination between all the Gestapo can talk with LAPD, CHP, all these people.
Yeah.
And the community at MacArthur Park showed up and were not happy. And there was a lot of action. I'll just say that, agree with it, don't agree with it, but they got them the fuck out of that area. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to mobilize, and we need to just become a fucking beehive and get these people out.
Nope, I agree. Speaking of organizing, don't forget, guys, I am going to Washington, D.C. in 10 days to live stream the next protest that is supposed to be another nationwide one, organized by like 5051 and Indivisible. Again, if you guys want to donate to that, I have a link tree in the description of the video. It's also on our channel pages, depending on what platform you're watching. If you want to donate, please, we would greatly appreciate it. Again, we are fully self-funded. We're slowly starting to generate a little bit of income off of this, and we're hoping to be self-sustaining within the next few months. But we just wanted you to know that we greatly appreciate all of your support. You guys have been absolutely amazing. So, all right, getting on to the topic here. So you mentioned the horses. Now, this is in MacArthur Park. Look at how stupid these
so dumb.
Full body armor, like knight riding on horses. I'm surprised they don't have, what's the damn thing? The jousting.
Javelin.
Yeah, the lance. I'm surprised they're not like, with the shield and stuff.
Yep.
They look stupid. Okay, you're arresting immigrants. This isn't Iraq. You're not in Afghanistan. You're in LA. Like, but seriously, look how dumb these idiots look.
Yeah, all right.
All covered their
Jesus
faces.
Christ. So stupid.
There were kids playing at this park.
What was the point of that with those horses? Like,
who's going to clean up all the shit?
The logistics of getting that many horses into that area where it's pretty congested is not easy. They're going to spend more time getting them in and out than actually making any arrests.
100% performative. They want us to be scared. But they don't understand that the more they push, the more we are going to push back. And I don't think they understand that concept. And they're finding out in real time. ICE is finding out in real time that they don't have as much power as they think they do. They're going to have to shoot somebody. I mean, it's going to come to that. They are going to shoot somebody eventually. One of these racist, knuckle-dragging rednecks with the itchy trigger finger just can't wait to shoot a brown person. You know what I mean? Every time they get confronted by unarmed civilians, they throw tear gas.
Yep.
Like the little bitches that you are. I hate everybody that works for ICE. I hate you. And the reason you cover your faces is because you know you are wrong. And you know that when you go home and your next door neighbors that don't know you work for ICE, you know how they would treat you. That's why none of you stupid asses have been wearing your alligator Alcatraz shirts. Keep threatening me like, well, you ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, let me catch you in public with a goddamn concentration camp shirt. Let me, just wait. I dare you. Go ahead. Wear it in public. Wear it in public. You know what I mean? I want to see how society treats the people that are making a concentration camp out to be like it's fucking Disneyland. But you're not, okay? Just like you're not doing the old Hitler salute like Elon Musk did. We dared you to do that one on TikTok. None of you stupid asses did that either. You know what I mean? So stop talking shit. Put your money where your mouth is. So I'm tired of you guys coming into my comments like, oh, what are you going to do about it? Like I was telling James before, I'm petty and I'm crazy. So keep pushing. See what happens. Anyway, moving on. Let's have some fun. This is one of the funniest shit. This is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. MAGA arguing with Grok. Okay, remember, Grok is not a human being. Grok is an AI. He's artificial intelligence. That's all it is. But for some reason, they are mad when Grok, because MAGA hates facts. They hate them. They're like allergic to it. You know what I mean? Like every time a fact comes around, they have to do like an epi shot.
Yeah,
they're so allergic. But this is how
pass around water. That's
no, not the truth. All right. So anyway, this is how it started. This was Charlie Kirk posting on X. Okay, here's the floods in Texas is a national catastrophe. This is beyond heartbreaking to witness. So people on the left are using Grok to literally troll MAGA and trigger them. So this person asks at Grok, was there anything that could have happened to prevent this, or is just a horrible accident? To which Grok replied, flash floods like those in central Texas are natural, but often mitigable. Causes include extreme rainfall from Tropical Storm Barry remnants. Warnings were issued, but local officials cited absent alert systems and telecom failures. And of course, it goes on to better funding, infrastructure, and evacuations could have saved lives, not just an accident. To where MAGA then replies, there's a few of these. Bullshit! The cuts didn't have anything to do with warning and prediction. To where this person then writes, at Grok, mutant dwarf, is there any actual proof that funding cuts hindered forecasting, or is that just something that's being repeated on the internet? Please include the NWS own statement on the event in your answer. So Grok cites the actual documents that it's referring to. And this has MAGA just absolutely freaked out. They cannot stand that an AI system doesn't perpetuate falsities like they do, because they believe in some of the dumbest shit. Marjorie Taylor Greene is literally introducing a bill to make cloud seeding a felony.
Cloud what?
That's cloud seeding. She thinks that there are people in this world that are pumping chemicals into the air. I swear to God, you've heard of chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
God.
Yeah, they think that she wants to make it a felony to do that, which of course it's not happening. So there's no reason to make it a felony. So this is where it gets fun. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, actually, here I'll post this one. Is from an account named Ed Horn. In the blink of an eye, my feed is now loaded with leftists and America Party every other post. Grok now leans heavily to the left. Again, Grok is owned by an actual freaking Nazi. Okay, Elon Musk is one. That's no denying that. He came out of the Nazi closet on Inauguration Day.
Yep.
So then we have, what else do we have? Paul Golding refers to, I'm sorry to say Elon Musk, but Grok is very left-wing leaning. Yeah, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene, the queen of conspiracy theories, the one who actually held a hearing on black market baby organ sales. Her Christianity was questioned by Grok.
Good.
This is hilarious. Like,
Love
she
that
posted
shit.
how she's a good Christian and all that stuff, and somebody asked Grok, "Is this true?" And Grok was like, "No, she just acts like she pretends to be a Christian." This is not verbatim, obviously, but this triggered Marjorie Taylor Greene like crazy. At Grok, the judgment seat belongs to God, not you, a non-human AI platform. Grok is left-leaning and continues to spread fake news and propaganda. These people have lost complete touch with reality, bro.
Yep.
This is what we have running the country. I told you this is funny. It's there's more. You could go on right now. Well, right now, Twitter is basically all about the Epstein files because right wing is not happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump promised to release him kind of before the on the campaign trail. They interviewed him. I think it was Fox News. And it was the one where he's like, "Yeah, well, maybe not so much that one because like we don't want to ruin anybody's life."
Yeah.
Knowing damn well his
you have to be careful. We have to be
all
careful with
over.
this stuff. We don't want to have innocent people get caught up in this. It's not what we want.
Fucking
But
ridiculous.
you know what kills me though is the denial is next level.
Yeah.
There's more pictures of Donald Trump on the internet with Jeffrey Epstein than there are with him and his own kids.
Mhm.
Like, seriously, you could find thousands of pictures of Epstein and Donald Trump partying. Actually, I have a video. I'll show you the video. This was do I have the video? Oh no, I didn't load the video. Oh, there we go. Here we go. This is a video of Donald Trump partying with Epstein.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests. Among them, the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras.
He's so cheesy, bro. Cringe.
So creepy.
Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances. Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot."
God,
And
it's so
then
creepy.
Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president says now, he never liked Epstein.
I was not a
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Right.
so creepy. They're just gross, dude.
Dude,
My
Trump
God.
loved Epstein. You don't hang out with somebody for 15 years if you don't like them.
Yeah.
That is literally
it's-
the dumbest
he-
rebuttal ever.
Yeah, he said he liked Epstein because he liked women on the younger side.
Right.
That's literally a quote from him
Mhm.
that he gave to, I can't remember, the New York Times or one of those outlets. And it's all there, black and white. He wouldn't say something. That's code, right?
Right.
He likes women on the younger side, just like me. They're not talking about ladies like in that footage.
No.
They're talking like actual children. It's disgusting.
Right. And let's not forget the time Donald Trump held a beauty teen pageant where he walked into the dressing room intentionally while the young girls, underage girls, were naked so he could inspect them. That's real. That actually happened. That was out of Donald Trump's mouth, as a matter of fact, on I believe it was on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
So there is an underlying connection between all of these people tonight that we're going to talk about, and it is Jeffrey Epstein. Peter Thiel is connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Elon Musk is connected to Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump and a lot of other high-profile people, I am sure, are also connected to Jeffrey Epstein, people that we probably don't even know about yet. But now we may never know unless Israel releases them, because I have more information that Jeffrey Epstein was in fact an Israeli asset. Again, I've covered this several times. The former prime minister or leader of Israel visited Epstein like 30 times in a period of 4 years.
Jesus.
Okay. Right. So that is the general consensus why Donald Trump is so desperate to please Netanyahu and why he continues to do everything that they ask. Because they may have the files. So we may still see them, but we're not going to see them from the Trump administration.
No.
And this is not a conspiracy. This is multiple people. I have a video of Dan Bongino, which I don't like using right-wing nut jobs as reference material, but even he is saying in a former interview before he was the deputy director of the FBI that Epstein was, in fact, an Israeli asset. He's been told by several people. So it is less and less becoming less and less of a conspiracy and more something that is actually quite believable, especially with what's going on in Israel right now. And honestly, I'm so tired of us supporting Israel without even questioning what they're using the money for. That's crazy. And the fact that they have universal health care and free college on our dime, right? That is insane to me. Like, we're okay with providing socialism for Israel, but God forbid we do any kind of democratic socialism in the United States. Ooh, evil.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so this is getting out of hand.
Smoke for Zoran than they've ever had for Netanyahu, who wanted Trump to win, by the way.
Right. Exactly. So before we get into the Epstein stuff, though, I do want to talk about Peter Thiel. And this is, again, he is also connected to Jeffrey Epstein, allegedly. So, again, there's an underlying theme with all these rich, powerful Republican, again, sexual deviants. All of them. All of them. There's pictures of Elon Musk with Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, they're all tied to him. They're all it's actually pretty gross. But let me go ahead. We're going to talk about Palantir for a second. Because, again, Palantir now has all of our information, all the shit that DOGE stole, plus probably our social media information, because, Zuckerberg's on board with all this shit. Elon Musk is on board with all this shit. So I don't know what's going to happen with TikTok, because that's apparently getting sold and turned into a company called, or an app called M. I don't know. The M stands for McDonald's, maybe, for Donald Trump's favorite store or favorite restaurant. But yeah, it's got to be completely state controlled, and it's going to be U.S. only. They're trying to shut us off from the outside world. They don't want any information from the outside world reaching the United States, and that's what they're going to do. If they get a hold of TikTok in September, do not download it. Don't. Just go to another platform, please. Do not. They will use the new TikTok in the United States to monitor everything you say and do. Yep. I'm guaranteeing it. It's not even a joke. Palantir will have access to this social media information if they don't already. But let me go ahead. I found a good TikTok video just explaining exactly what Palantir does. Okay.
Have you ever wondered who's really watching you? Not just your phone or your apps, but something deeper. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is Palantir, one of the most powerful tech companies you've probably never heard of. And you should be concerned. Palantir Technologies was founded by Peter Thiel, the same guy who helped create PayPal and invested early in Facebook. But Palantir doesn't care about your likes or selfies. It builds advanced data software for governments, law enforcement, and intelligence agencies. Think of it as the brain behind the surveillance state, analyzing massive amounts of data to track people, spot patterns, and even predict behavior. Palantir's tools are used by the CIA, the FBI, ICE, the Pentagon, and even foreign governments. They've helped track terrorists overseas and catch criminals here at home. Sounds useful. But there's a dark side. That same technology has been used to monitor civilians, track immigrants, and influence government operations without public oversight. Imagine a system that can pull your financial records, medical history, social media, and even location data, and compile it into one massive profile.
Exactly. This is what the goal is. This is what the goal always has been. Again, also, Peter Thiel is also 100% pro-Israel. Whatever Israel says, he's okay with. Whatever the IDF does, he's okay with. He's said it several times in an interview. So this is the goal. Total media control. This is what they want. They want to control everything we read, everything we say, everything we do. They're going to send FBI agents to our houses if we talk bad about their Fuhrer. Like, this is crazy, but this is exactly what's happening in our country right now, which sounds insane. Like, I sound like a crazy person talking about this sometimes, but this is reality now. This is exactly what's happening. They're not hiding it. They're coming out flat out and saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give all of your information and we're going to monitor you in real time. Of course, at first they say immigrants, but then eventually it's just going to be everybody.
Yeah, we've already seen that. It always starts there, and then now they're deporting U.S. citizens. It's always
right.
You can't. That's why the Democrats throwing immigrants and trans people under the bus. It's like, who do you think is next on their on the chopping block?
Yep.
You cannot give away the margins. You have to protect. Solidarity is solidarity.
That's crazy. But here's another video of Peter Thiel being approached by just a random stranger asking questions because obviously they're concerned like we are.
Mr. Thiel, do you have any comments about Palantir's surveillance of the American people, sir? Or any of your connections to Jeffrey Epstein? I think people are rather concerned about that last particular one.
This is why the files are not coming out, guys.
People know it, sir.
It's not just Trump.
Want this surveillance tech being used against them?
Okay, so think about this, and I know I sound a little conspiratory. I don't know whatever the fuck the word is. James wants me to come up with left-wing conspiracy, so here it is. Jeffrey Epstein has information on everybody, videos, audio logs, quite literally everybody, and he had control of all of that. Okay, and then according to several reports, he was being groomed by Israel, possibly, allegedly Mossad, which is like Israel's special forces, kind of like Israel's CIA, which is crazy because if that's true, then it's not just Trump. It's Peter Thiel, it's Elon Musk, it's a lot of powerful people on both sides of the aisle. Okay, this is not just about Republican or Democrat, but these people who went to this island did horrific things to underage girls, not women. Okay, they didn't go to an island and have sex with adult sex workers. That's not what they went there for. They went there specifically to have sex with underage girls. What the fuck do you think went on that island? Jesus Christ. Why is and now they're focused on, oh, well, we have a video now, so he didn't kill himself. Who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit. He's dead. I don't give a shit if Jeffrey Epstein killed himself or was murdered. I don't care. I want everybody that's on this goddamn list to face some repercussions because you sons of bitches did some of the dirtiest shit that any human being could do on this planet. You took advantage of innocent young girls that were groomed by Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and yes,
and
Donald Trump is on the goddamn list. He is at the top of the list. Like, pull your head out of your ass. What else do you need to see that they are just covering up for all the people that you elected? Okay? These are all disgusting human beings. I'm sorry. That's what they are.
They are.
So, yeah, but that is what Palantir is all about. That's what Palantir is doing. They are taking all of our information. And I also like to remind everybody that Peter Thiel has groomed and funded the vice president of the United States since college.
Yeah.
Since college, J.D. Vance has been. Just think about his career. Why he literally had no credentials, became a senator, and now he's a vice president. First term senator, now he's vice president.
He was just a writer. That's all he was.
Right. Why is that? Right. You know what I mean? Because Peter Thiel, Heritage Foundation, Kevin Roberts, all those guys back J.D. Vance. They are just using Donald Trump to get into power. Now that they have that, they're never going to try and get. They're going to do everything they possibly can to keep hold of it. That's why I worry about the midterm elections, because they're not going to win. They have probably half the support now that they used to. Okay, people that know they made a mistake are either they're not going to vote or they're going to come over to the right side of history. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way they would win a popular election, at least not a free and fair one at this point. And we are still questioning whether we had a free and fair election prior. And I think Trump was panicking about that, about the smart elections cases and Election Truth Alliance, because he is still out there talking about how he won all these counties and he won all 7 swing states. It's like, dude, it's been 6 months. Why are you still talking about it? Why are you sounding so scared? Why do you're trying to still prove to the American people that you had this great mandate, even though you didn't? You only won by like a couple million votes. So it's not exactly a landslide like you keep saying.
Close.
No. So I'm not happy about this Palantir shit. This is what scares me the most. These people that are behind the scenes, and Mike and I have said this on the show too, and James, you probably agree. We need to focus on the people that are behind the scenes, not the one causing all the distractions. Like Donald Trump, he's a big old distraction. He's a clown. He's a clown. You know what I mean? They want to focus on him and everybody to talk about his mental decline and all his stupid bills and all that stuff, while Peter Thiel quietly behind the scenes is going to cause irreparable harm to the privacy of every individual in this country. So I guess there is no privacy anymore at this point. James, what do you think?
It's very tough. If you read, it's amazing because you hear Orwell all the time. And if you do read 1984, it is very much like that. Because in 1984, they're always talking about how there's a camera in every home. And then if you're not like sitting up or standing up and saluting for the pledge, then, the thought police come for you. And yeah, this is absolutely laying the groundwork for something like that. And it is fucking terrifying. And we should be ready to fight back.
I mean, think about it. Everything we have now has cameras on it. Our computers, our phones, televisions. Like there's cameras on quite literally everything now.
Well, pretty soon we're going to have brain chips too. So your eyes will be recording and sending out a signal to Big Brother.
Yeah, there's no way in hell you're going to get an Elon Musk brain chip into my head. I would rather die. There's no way, bro.
No severance for me.
I mean, it's not far-fetched, though, the chip thing in the brain, because they want us to wear wearables so they can gather our health information. So they say they want immigrants to wear ankle monitors with GPS locations on it. So it's obviously a brain chip sounds crazy, but in a way they are trying to do it already.
Yeah, that's where they want to go. I mean, we already have a lot of privacy issues because these companies can steal and sell our data without our consent. You sign up for Netflix and they're going to sell all that. What was the thing with the airlines a couple weeks ago? The airlines leaked a bunch of data.
The DNA company.
Yeah. And our privacy is going out the window.
Right. What was it? Was it 23andMe that just recently sold all of their DNA info? It's like, what?
Yeah, it was one of those companies too.
Crazy.
And not to be doom and gloom, like there are absolutely ways to fight back, and the way we're going to have to fight back is by making Nuremberg the compromise position and not backing down. Right. We certainly can't have gruesome Newsom pull a centrism on us and allow these kind of atrocities to go unaddressed. We just have to demand that of our leadership.
No, I agree. And they are, instead of taking advantage of the Mamdani situation and how much support he has, and saying, look at this guy, maybe that's the new direction we should take with the younger generation in politics. But no, they want to tear him down. All these freaking AIPAC funded Democrats, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, Gavin Newsom, these centrist Democrats, I'm so tired of these people. Corporate politicians got to go.
What's so funny now is that since Mamdani won, now Richie Torres is saying he won't run for governor. I'm like, yes, thank you for the small things. Thank you for the small blessings. But he had an actual mandate. I mean, he had actual Trump districts, actual voters voted for Trump, voted for him. These are exactly this is the craziness about it, is because he literally got the kind of voters that the Democrat strategists like James Carville are always saying, we need to reach across the aisle and get these suburban people that vote for Trump. He did. And he did it by doing nothing that you would have. So Carville, have a seat, retire. Your time is done. Your time is up, honey.
Right. I like him because, one, he's calling out Israel. They don't like him because he's Muslim, obviously. So that's their big gripe with him. And he's calling Trump a fascist. He's one of the few people out there saying Donald Trump is a fascist. Okay, I think we need to step up the verbiage, though, because I don't think fascist is good enough. I think we just need to start calling them Nazis. That's what they want to be.
That's what
Donald Trump.
That's what I call them.
Here you go. Let's replay it just so we're very, very clear of Donald Trump doing a Nazi salute, throwing his heart out, Greek salute or Roman salute or whatever the hell you want to justify.
Nazi salute.
Right. And again, I slowed it down. The first one, I think, was him just being a chicken shit and trying it out. But when people cheered, when he did it the first time, he threw a second one out that was very, very blatantly obvious. MAGA. So, yeah. Melania, blink twice if you need rescued. There's the first one. That looks like it just kissed. This one, that's a salute. Throwing out a kiss, very normal. Second one. Boom. That is a Heil Hitler salute, if I've ever seen one.
Who does that? Like, let's just say that, like, let's play devil's advocate here. Who does that? They go like this and then they hold their. I have never seen anyone do that.
Right. They don't want to be
just
called
not something
Nazis.
you do. Yeah.
Right. Who was Tom Homan came out recently and they're actually upset. This is working. That's why I'm saying we need to call them out for what they are. Tom Homan is like, you shouldn't be calling us Nazis and comparing us to Nazis. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we should, because that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, start call, like Midas Touch, call them Nazis.
I've made so many videos on that premise. It's like, if
you know what I'm saying?
Call Nazis, don't do Nazi shit.
Right, exactly. I got a freaking, I can't believe all the shit I read on Facebook, all the hate, all the bigotry. And then I post, if you buy an alligator Alcatraz shirt, you are a Nazi. That got a community guidelines violation. I was like, I fucking hate social media. I do.
Facebook is awful. I'm so glad it's become such a desert and like no one uses it anymore. Because I mean, every time I'm scrolling, I'm obviously liberal. So why in the fuck is it pushing this right-wing dipshit content in front of me? It makes no sense. Facebook is fucking useless, and may it go into a garbage.
No, I agree. If you guys want to see me troll MAGA hard, like hard in the paint, I do it on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. It's hilarious. I've gotten 1.2 million interactions on my profile in the last 30 days, which is insane. And I made a whopping $190. But anyway, I made $190 just by pissing off MAGA, because every time I troll them, they hop in the comments trying to own the libs. Dude, I'm making money off of you morons. Like, stay out of my comments. You're helping me.
Yeah, same thing happened on my Instagram. I had a video go up to like 43,000 views, and people are saying, your content sucks. Okay. Can you type more? Can you come back again?
Thank you. I keep telling them, thank you guys for the comments.
Yeah, thank you for the comments and feeding the algorithm. Now you actually have a job and you work for me and you're working for free. So deal with it.
I have so many MAGAs making duets of a video I made on TikTok saying pretty much, I dare you, like, let me catch you in public with an alligator Alcatraz shirt. Just, I can't say what I'm going to do, but I don't honestly know what I'll do. Honestly, I don't know. That's what scares me, because I'm at the point now where I just don't give a shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to go down. I'm ready to throw down with somebody if they want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm just at that point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm done trying to rationalize with you idiots. I'm just done. Like, I don't think MAGA understands how much they've radicalized the left.
Yeah.
We were trying to be cordial. We were trying to be nice. We were trying to warn you. Like, we were legitimately trying to help you see the light of day. But you guys just continue to go down this stupid ass rabbit hole.
All because we wanted to give them health care. Jesus.
I know we're trying to get, like, we were fighting for rights of everyone, like a better life for everybody, including you dipshits. But you guys only wanted a better life for you. Nobody else, just you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, everything that's happening right now is 150 million% your fault, MAGA. You voted for this. This is what you wanted. So now when we're pissed off now, okay, we're not being nice anymore. Those days are over. That ended on election day. Okay. That's why I'm saying we need to start treating these people accordingly. Okay. You treat them like they treat others.
Yeah.
Be as hateful as you want. It's perfectly acceptable to be hateful towards bigots and racists and Nazis.
It shouldn't be comfortable for them to be in public. It shouldn't be.
Right. You should shame them for the rest of their days. You know who voted for Trump because they have the signs out in the yards. They have the flags. They have the bumper stickers. You know who it is. Tell them.
Yeah. So don't serve their table. Don't cut their hair. Right. Don't check them out of the hotel. Do not work with these folks. It's very simple.
These are people that would be more than happy to refuse you service because of how you identify, your sexual orientation, the color of your skin. They would be perfectly happy being able to turn people away for stuff like that. So treat them the same way. They come into your restaurant and you don't like MAGA, say, I'm sorry, I don't serve Nazis. Yeah, tell them that to their face and watch their reaction. Yeah. I'm serious. Call them out. Don't be scared. You can't live in fear. Okay? Be pissed off. That is the right reaction right now. Being angry as hell. This is our country, okay? This is not MAGA country. This is the United States of America. This is the place where you're supposed to go, at least used to have a better life. Like that was the American dream. The American dream was never work hard and one day you'll make it in life. That was never the American dream. The American dream was if you want freedom from persecution and you want to have equality and rights and all that stuff, and a better life for your family and a future for your family, you go to the United States. That was the thing. But that's not it anymore. That now is, I mean, we're losing billions of dollars just this year alone in 6 months from tourism alone. That should tell you right there what the world thinks of us. They don't even want to come here anymore. You know what I mean? You're destroying. Trump is destroying everything this country.
He is destroying the country. I was just thinking
could
about
have
that
been.
yesterday.
They're tearing it apart. They're doing generational damage. This is going to take decades. We are now the Nazi Germany of this century. Just think about that. If you're in America right now, most of the world probably sees us as that. So when you go to another country, they're not going to see an American, whether you're MAGA or not. I hope you realize that. When you're not welcome in other countries now, they're going to look down upon you for being an American because of MAGA. This is the reality you need to face. Okay. People don't like us. We are no longer the good guys in the story. We are the evil ones. And obviously, like every fascist rise up, there is always a resistance. There's always a revolution, and they always lose. Okay. So we have to keep that mindset. Okay. We got to be the Americans we claim that we are, the ones that fight for equality, that fight for freedom. We got to stand on business on this one. We can't just be behind the keyboards yelling and shit. Which is why I try and go out to as many events as I possibly can. If we had funding, I would be out in the streets every single day. I would probably be in LA right now with you. If you know what I mean, if we had proper funding, I would be traveling all over this country, capturing all the shit that the right or the media refuses to show us. You know what I mean? So, all right. Anyway, that was a pretty long rant. I do apologize. I don't know where that came from.
I wanted you to go, man. You were on a roll. I
know. I guess sometimes I just get going. But anyway, let's go back to Jeffrey Epstein because that's what we want to talk about here. Because again, they just disappeared. They don't have them anymore. There was no list ever, or whatever. Even if there was no list, like we want to see the files. The files. We don't care about the list. We already know Donald Trump was on it. I do want to know who. I want to know everybody that was on it. Everybody that's ever visited that island and been associated with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, and I think all of them should be prosecuted. They keep saying they arrested an Iranian woman the other day as a criminal because she at one point wrote a $200 bad check. That's what they used to justify her as a criminal immigrant and deport her. And yes, her husband is a Trump supporter, and yes, he still supports Trump. Even though his wife just got freaking deported by us, which is amazing to me. So first, let's start with the performative bullshit that we got at the beginning. This is Pam Bondi saying that this is back in February, I think. She has the Epstein files on her desk right now.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
Stupid editing software. But yeah, back then she had them on her desk. Okay. Then we had this where they released phase one, only right-wing influencers who constantly spread propaganda. This is what they came out with, their cute little binders that literally had more redacted information that was available to the public. Like there was everything that they had is already publicly available. And they further redacted the publicly available.
I remember that now. Jesus, I can't believe I forgot.
So they actually gave these people less information that was already available to everybody in the world. But
yeah,
this is
I
how
remember that. Wow.
This was so stupid. They showed them to the camera. We got the list.
God, these people are so weird.
So pathetic, right? Epstein files, phase 1. Why all that performative nonsense just to come out and say,
Yeah. If I remember right, those influencers were actually pissed because they were like, yeah, there's nothing in here. Like, we were expecting some big like story, and they felt screwed. They felt screwed. And I love that for them.
Right. That's what you get. That's what you get. And again, they're focusing now on the video. Was he killed or was he murdered? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. He was a freaking pervert. He was one of the worst human beings on planet Earth that trafficked young girls. He's dead. That's all that matters. Okay. He's in the place he deserves to be. Hell.
Well,
okay?
it is important, though, if he was murdered, to know who did it and why, because we can all guess where that leads back to. But it is an important question that does need to be answered. And I, for one, definitely don't think he committed suicide.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He was connected to some extremely powerful people, and he could have ruined all of them if this information would have got out. Had he released all this, he could have turned states and completely destroyed probably Israel as well, on top of all the people that Donald Trump should never have been allowed to run. I just don't know how MAGA has twisted themselves into a pretzel to think somehow, some way Donald Trump is not involved in this. Like, this is one of those things where it's so in your face and so freaking obvious. It's like, how do you not see the connections? You guys think weather, cloud seeding is real, and chemtrails, and they're pumping chemicals into the atmosphere to cool the earth down like it's a freaking science fiction movie. But you won't believe your own eyes when you see videos or here, I'll just show this. Here we go, right here. Let me take this down first. But here, look, right there. Perfect example. I mean, you could go right now on to Twitter. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's one with a bunch of pictures of Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein. Perfect example right here.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are stupid. Stupid if you think that he was not involved in the most egregious way possible. And some of the stories, there was an author that wrote a book. Was it Michael Wolff? I can't remember the guy's name, who spent time with Jeffrey Epstein. And some of the stories he's told is just absolutely disgusting. But they still support him no matter what. They refuse to believe that Donald Trump is somehow associated with all this.
It's an intentional, willful ignorance. They just have to block it out to rationalize. And you know, they just can't handle reality is what it comes down to. Just this bill being going to cut Medicaid and raise their taxes. They have to create this whole alternate reality in their head in order to cope, because the facts are against them. And when they're actually confronted with it, it just breaks them. Like all these people that are, like you said, this guy who is a Trump supporter and his wife is getting deported or whatever. They can't get that it's going to come back. It's the imperial boomerang every time.
Right. And I just don't think they want to realize or accept the fact that they were wrong, like so wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because these people went all in. Their whole identity is being MAGA, being a Trumper. Like, you know what I mean? So they've bought into all of this. So I can imagine how hard it is, I guess, maybe if you're really dumb, to accept that you've been this wrong about somebody that you've quite literally elevated to like a god status.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing how hard of a time people have for admitting fault and admitting they were wrong. And so many people just double down, and sunken cost fallacy kicks in. But it's like, be a fucking adult and just realize that you're wrong. That shit happens. People are wrong all the time, you know?
Right. It's part of growing as a human being, admitting you're wrong and then not making the same mistake again. That's a good quality.
Yeah.
But continuing to live in denial despite all the evidence is, to me, just insane on the level that they've managed to brainwash these people.
Yep.
So did you see, though, Caroline Leavitt make her statement today about this, James?
No. Do you have the footage?
Oh, my God. I do.
Okay.
I do. And just listen to the reaction of right-wing media. Okay. I believe this was Fox News, Steve Doocy. Listen to his reaction when she says that there is no list.
FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the President's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency. Sure.
Okay, oh my God. The perfect reaction to this whole thing. Yes, we know there was child pornography, and we know why you don't want to release the files.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing. Why don't they just redact that part, for Christ's sake?
I know you don't have to show the videos, but the names we deserve as the American people to know for a fact. I mean, we know, but MAGA needs to know that the guy they elected is a raging pedo.
Yep.
Always has been. Okay. The guy sexualized his own daughter. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, how more gross can you possibly be?
And the thing that always people keep overlooking is that the girls came from Mar-a-Lago. Ghislaine Maxwell would specifically go to Mar-a-Lago to recruit and kidnap these children for Epstein. Like that's a level of coordination that is not something you do as a passive observer. You know, it's just not.
No, Trump was an active participant. Okay?
That's the term. Yep.
So that is what you guys need to accept. I don't know if you ever will. But the sooner you do, the better off our entire society will be, because then at least we're all on the same page with this part of this entire saga. But no, they're still twisting themselves into pretzels over this. Again, the mental gymnastics y'all do is Olympic level. It truly is. There is no line. You have no moral compass. You know what I mean? This whole Christianity act, we obviously don't buy it.
If you really want to piss them off, tell them they're a fake Christian. Oh, that gets them. That gets them.
I like telling them Jesus wasn't white. They don't like that one at all either.
Yep, that's another one.
You guys know it says in the Bible Jesus wasn't white. They're like, no. I'm like, bro, he's from the Middle East. How many white people you know that come from the fucking Middle East? I mean, go on. Like, how dumb can you guys be? He's from that part of the world. So anyway, going back into how this all connects. Israel, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about this because this is a very realistic possibility that Israel, possibly even Iran, because remember, Iran hacked Israel and then Israel attacked Iran. That's why they attacked Iran. It was because of the hack, allegedly, for legal reasons. But the underlying connection is, again, Israel. Israel and Jeffrey Epstein, very close relationship, flew on his private jet several times, even visited him at his Florida home. The leader of Israel, not a representative, okay? Not Netanyahu, but the guy that was before him. I forget his name. Why would the leader of Israel need to be in such close contact with Jeffrey Epstein? Especially when Israel's known for something called the honeypot operation, which is basically where they take young girls or beautiful women and put men in compromising positions, and then they film the shit out of it. And now they have blackmail material on you.
So it's like To Catch a Predator, basically.
It is. It really is. But on a whole different level. This is the government funded. This is funding predators. This is not To Catch a Predator.
Yeah. Jesus.
But anyway, if you guys don't believe me, I'll play a video again. I don't like this guy. I can't stand him. The fact that he is even the deputy director of the FBI is insane. Dan Bongino is just a conspiracy nut job. But here he is talking about how people have come to him while he worked at Fox and told him about the Israel connection to Jeffrey Epstein. I just found what he says to be quite interesting for this scenario.
About a year and a half after that, I'm in a green room at Fox, and I'm not going to say who because they didn't give me permission to share it, but the short story, but not who they are. It says, you know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset, meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. Which Middle Eastern countries they are, I don't know. But this person, who is a very, very good reporter, I mean, aces, right? Swore Epstein was either a witting or unwitting intelligence asset, and they may have had his plane wired up, and they're the ones who have all this stuff.
Well, I kind of take issue with that being credible, since he's calling a reporter at Fox good at their job. I'm like,
credible,
right?
But aces at Fox, that's not a thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the other core details are obviously corroborated. You know, the island and all that stuff, the plane. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me if there are recordings. There probably are.
Oh yeah, there definitely is.
Yeah,
there are rumors of tapes and audio recordings and notes, and that's why they won't. This is why they won't release it. It's not going to ruin Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's people are going to follow him. He could. I don't even want to say this out loud, but Donald Trump could essay a child on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Like he says he likes to shoot people on Fifth Avenue and lines, but like MAGA would watch him do it and go, ah.
Yep.
It must have been what she was wearing. Like, seriously, this is how crazy these people are. You know what I mean? They would find a way to justify this. If they saw the tapes themselves, heard the audio recordings, they would be like, it's AI.
Could you imagine the Democrat response? They would just like not have any idea how to handle it. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
They're so weak they wouldn't use it. You know, I mean, they've had these photos of him with Epstein this entire time. Never once has any of them come up at any debate, right? In any attack ad by the Democrats. So it's like he could do all this stuff and kind of screw himself out of any popularity or election, and the opposition party would do absolutely fuck all with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I even said this, I think, when Kamala Harris was running. Like, I would have been talking about Epstein in every campaign speech.
Same.
Donald Trump, Epstein, Donald Trump, Epstein, Donald Trump, Epstein. I would have had, because I'm petty and sarcastic as hell, but if I was running for office against Donald Trump, I would have made a giant billboard behind me of just pictures of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. So when they hear me talking, they're also looking at Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. You're right, though. The Democrats had all this stuff handed to them. This should have been a layup. This should have been a layup, but you guys wanted to have decorum, and you wanted to do everything the politically right or the politically correct way against people that don't follow the rules, make things up as they go. And you're right, though, James. These people literally this is gift wrapped.
Yep. And they never
literally gift wrapped. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I would have been talking about it every freaking day.
Like, you want to make the country safe? Let's keep predators like Donald Trump out of power. Let's keep your kids safe from people like Trump.
Right. And you know how like Republicans like to do the whataboutisms, like, well, what about Biden? I'd have been like, well, what about Epstein? Every time. Well, what about Joe Biden? Well, what about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein? You know what I mean? Like, people should have automatically thought of Epstein when they thought of Trump.
Yep.
But the Democrats failed on messaging. Truly, truly failed. They did a good job. And I'm still skeptical about the election results, but they truly had a great opportunity to just crush this movement.
Yep.
Truly flush it down the toilet so we would never have to hear from these people again. But instead, you know, people like Merrick Garland, they didn't want to prosecute Trump. They didn't want it to look political. Like, thanks,
if there's
guys.
anyone that should also be in Nuremberg for doing nothing wrong, it's Merrick Garland. That man should face the rest of his life in jail.
Unbelievable. Yeah, there's a lot of people we could blame, but we should just blame Trump supporters. Honestly, it's their fault. This whole thing is their fault. Armed private military on the streets right now, riding armored horses like they're the Knights of Camelot through LA. Like, it's so dumb. So dumb. Like, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do?
They're looking for the sword and the stone. They got to kiss a frog or some shit.
Unbelievable. And the fact that they cover their faces just tells me that they know they're doing it. They're not on the right side of history. They know. But thanks to Trump's big, beautiful bill, they all get a fat $40,000 bonus this year. All for being human traffickers and kidnappers. Yeah, that's what we do now. That we reward these people. Unbelievable. I have trouble buying food, but if I want to work for ICE and be a racist piece of shit Nazi, I could make what, $40,000 to $100,000 a year. They want to pay people like $100,000 a year to babysit people down at Alligator Alcatraz. Yo, y'all are gonna get what's coming to you. I hate to tell you this, MAGA, but y'all think you're on. You guys think you won. You really didn't, because you're gonna have to hide the fact that you voted for Donald Trump for the rest of your life.
Yep.
If I were you, if you ever want to get laid again, I would highly recommend that you just ditch this entire MAGA movement, because that's why there's a male, like, this is what kills me about MAGA men. They blame the women. They blame.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's never their fault.
The fact that they've never tried to develop a personality. You know what I'm saying? Like they think they should walk up to a woman, spit out their greatest pickup line, and the woman should just fall all over them. You know what I'm saying? This is why women don't want to sleep with you. This is why. You idolize a PDF file. You idolize this guy who did nasty things to children. It's verified that he's been with Epstein. He's been on the island. He's on the call logs. He is literally on everything. I just showed you pictures. Pictures. Okay. Not one picture. Lots and lots of pictures of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein, guys. Like, wake up.
So many.
Wake up. So, James, that's all we really have for today, dude. I know I talked a lot. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's good. We have to get this out. We have to, this is our mini therapy.
No, I agree. I actually use this for therapy as pretty much.
Nice.
It's cheaper. But anyway, we will be back on tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. Shit. I almost forgot. Tomorrow, we're not doing a show on this channel. We are going to be on the Sons of Liberties podcast tomorrow. And James is coming with us for the first time. So all three of us from the VOR podcast will be on the Sons of Liberty podcast tomorrow. That is at 7 p.m. I can't remember if they go live at 7 p.m. or if they start their like independent movies that they do at 7 p.m. I cannot remember, but
is that 7 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. 7 p.m. Eastern. So we will be doing that tomorrow. So just look out for the Sons of Liberty. We will not be doing a live stream tomorrow. Then Wednesday, I am off, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I needed to take a few days off this week to process the big, beautiful bill and how pissed off I am about this.
Yeah, I did too.
Because I went live on July 4th, and then that's why I didn't go live on July 5th, because I said a lot of stuff on July 4th that I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just process for a day or two before I start, because I get emotional. You guys know I lead with emotion. I don't care. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. If I'm angry, you will know I'm angry. If I'm happy, you'll know I'm happy. I don't hide my emotions as a man. I think it's stupid. It's toxic. Gotta let the shit out. You know what I mean? So hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Tomorrow will be a lot of fun as well. Don't forget to hop over to the Sons of Liberty podcast tomorrow. Again, I can't remember if we go live at 7 or 7:30 or 8. I can't remember. So just keep an eye out for that. Love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Don't forget, if you want to follow us on social media, all the information is in the link tree, along with our GoFundMe. If you guys want to donate to our live stream, DC, again, I'm going on the 17th. So if you guys want to help us out with that, we greatly appreciate it. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a lot of stuff lined up. A lot of good things lined up. I'm working with a few TikTok influencers that have a huge following. They're going to be coming on the show here soon. Just got to get our scheduling down. Yeah, so I'm really excited about the direction the show is going. We're only going to continue to get bigger. We're only going to continue to get stronger as a community. And we have to fight. We have to fight. We cannot roll over and play dead. We cannot allow this just to happen. Even if we lose, we have to fight. Okay, there's no other option. I don't care. And if freedom, your very way of life, your country is not worth fighting for, I don't know what else is. You know what I mean? Like, this is your opportunity to stand up, draw a line in the sand, and be on the right side of history, because that's what this is. This is a historical moment for America. Okay, so we do have to fight, though. We cannot just be complacent. So, but if you can't go to protest, I highly recommend you do. There's probably going to be a lot on the 17th. If you can't, though, join us on here on live. I'll be in DC live streaming the whole thing.
Nice.
Love you guys. Have a good rest of your evening. And like always, we will talk to you soon.